many of you heard about Bill Gates? Who is Bill Gates? What does he do? He's the owner of Microsoft, right? He's the owner of, or the founder of Microsoft, right? He's the richest person in the world. Changes in the last few years. Sometimes he's first, sometimes second, but he's pretty much on the top, right? Richest person in the world. A few years ago, quite a few years ago, he quit Microsoft. Bill Gates doesn't work in Microsoft for quite a while now, but he has something else. Together with his wife, together with Melinda Gates, they have a foundation. They have the biggest private foundation in the world. Biggest meaning the most money in it. They put most of their money in the foundation in order to support causes that are dear to their hearts, and I don't want to get into that right now. What are their causes? And at one point he realized, well, we have a lot of money, and we contribute a lot of money, but hey, there's a lot of other people that have a lot of money. Why don't we get them too? So he contacted Warren Buffett, who was the second richest person in the world, now the third richest person in the world, the biggest investor that ever lived. And he talked to him about giving his money into the foundation. And Warren Buffett was so touched from what Bill Gates offered him that he gave him on the spot 99% of his fortune. On the spot. 99% of his fortune went into the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which became even bigger as a result of that. Because Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, I think, put 50% of their fortune. Now 99% of Warren Buffett was a lot more than that, so it became very big. And the two of them started to go from one billionaire to another, beginning in America and then the rest of the world, and convinced them to sign what is called the pledge. To sign a pledge that either before or after they die, they will give 50% or more of their fortune to charity. It doesn't have to be to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, but to charity. And they, within months, they got 40 of the richest billionaires in the world to sign that, and today it's much, much bigger than that. That was happening before, but that's what I heard, and I said, that's amazing. That's fantastic. You know, this is what we want as role models, because what we think about rich people is what we learned from, you know, it's really funny how we learned what we learned about rich people. Most of us have some negative thoughts and ideas about what a rich person is. And I won't forget it, and my daughter is here. I don't know if she will remember that, but one day she's coming back from school, and she's 5 years old or something, and she says, rich people are stingy. Rich people are stingy. And I'm saying, how does she come with that? We never talk anything bad about rich people. She knows our friends. Actually, one of our best friends is a multi-millionaire, and she was half raising her. So how can you even come with that? So we were interrogating her a little bit gently, but firmly. Where did she come from? And she says, Dach Barduk. Dach Barduk. Now, I knew Donald Duck when I was a kid, but I didn't know Dach Barduk, because it's not in Israel, we don't have Dach Barduk. Apparently in Holland, Dach Barduk is much more famous than Donald Duck. And Dach Barduk is the uncle, right? It's the old uncle of Donald Duck, and he's a stingy, filthy, rich, everything you think bad about rich people. He sits on his money and he's, you know, like that. And we were paying every month 10 euros to buy her Dach Barduk. We were paying to educate her to think that rich people are bad people, while it's against all the facts that she has in her life. Maybe you didn't grow with that, but she did grow up with wealthy people around her. And she knew how amazing and wonderful and generous they are, every single one of them. So we have very, very funny ideas, and they come from very funny sources. So I thought that what Bill Gates and Warren Buffett did was amazing, because it started creating different role models, and today it becomes much bigger. Mark Zuckerberg, 27, 28, whatever he is, a daughter is born, and he's giving 99% of everything he has. Charity, like that. Okay, he's not even waiting to the age of Bill Gates and, or Warren Buffett. I mean, Bill Gates didn't get it on his own. It's Melinda that, you know, hit him on the head, I think, when he was 50-something, that he got the point. He went to Warren Buffett when Warren Buffett was in the end of his 70s. Only then light bulb came up of what we call the enlightened millionaire. That's what we're calling it. The person that has enough, the glass is full, and the extra, or part of the extra, they give to something else. I got that from those people. I invented or created the term then of conscious millionaire. Later we changed it now to enlightened millionaire. And the idea is that those people, it's not about the millions, guys. Each and every one of you can be an enlightened millionaire tomorrow. It means that when your glass is full and there is something extra, then you give part of that extra to something which is important for you, something that creates a better world, something that is beyond who you are. That's what enlightened millionaire means. And Rudolph mentioned that yesterday to you, and he just forgot to mention the number, but we're trying to create around us 1,000 conscious or 1,000 enlightened millionaires around us because we think that 1,000 will change the world. And we have already a few. We have already a few, not 1,000, not even close, okay? Actually, what we're going to do now that we're finishing the business bootcamp is we're focusing only on that. We're going to take the people that are not those people that are just starting or just struggling, but those people that are on the path, and we're just going to make you an enlightened millionaire. That's what we're going to do in the next few years. That's where our focus is. We're so dedicated to that. So we think that we did enough to support the general population and the strugglers, and now it's time to take those people that are ready and willing to take the next step and move into the enlightened millionaire. That's where we're going with that. So we have quite a few students around us. We have one student that I mentioned yesterday that he's already enlightened billionaire. It's not just that he's making over 2.5 something billion his company is worth, but he's also, almost half of what he's doing is charity work. And that's Wim Belt. And it's just a good omen. He did the financial freedom as the first training with us, and he became financially free faster than us. We became financially free within 15 months. He did it within 14 months, and he broke our record, and since then, everybody's trying to beat his record. He became a millionaire. He didn't have nothing before that. He became a millionaire 8 months later, and it's 8 years later, and he is a billionaire. Multi-billionaire, by the way. Okay, this year, he became a multi-billionaire this year. And so it's available to each and every one of you, but you need to commit to that. And the way we see that, very quickly, I'm going to show you how you can go there if you want. Okay? And it's an important business lesson. I know that I'm going to talk about the enlightened millionaire, but it's an important business lesson. You can implement that in your business, something very similar to what we're doing. Each and every one of us, how many of you help people or companies? It doesn't matter. You help others. Okay, already with what you're doing, right? Now, so what you're doing is you're taking people, companies, dogs, I don't care who is your target audience, but you take them when they're in a situation that is not so good, right? You take them when they have a problem, usually, when they have something that doesn't work for them in their life, which means that they're under a line which most of us will call normal. If they're overweight, they're under the normal line. If they are smoking and start feeling that in their lungs, then they're under the normal. If you're helping people with a relationship because the relationship sucks or because they're fighting all the time and you help them to improve that, it's because they are under the normal. If you're helping people find a relationship, it's because for themselves, they're under the normal. When we're taking you, you are under the normal that you want to be. Okay, it's not a number that it's the same for everyone, but all of you right now don't feel that you're fulfilling your business potential. Is that correct? How many of you are right now under the normal for yourself in your business? Okay, otherwise, what do you do there? Again, what would you do here? So then us, like you, what we're doing is we're trying to take our clients and move them back to normal. Move them back to normal. Your problem, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but your issue with your business is that all of you are overworked and underpaid. Right? How many of you recognize that right now in your business you're overworked and underpaid? Right? So our job is to bring you back to normal, and what we're calling it is double your income, double your free time. How many of you, if you double your income, double your free time, you feel a little bit more, okay, that's on the right path. Okay, wonderful. Okay? So that's what we want to take you. And the business bootcamp is, just to show you, the business bootcamp is about here, on the path. Well, actually, it's here when we meet you. But here, you're going to get as a result of the Master Entrepreneur. Master Entrepreneur, this is what we're talking about, actually. Master Entrepreneur is how do you double your income, is how do you double your free time and double your income. This is what we are kind of promising you, that if you do what we teach you, that will be easy to get. Okay? But here's where most of you stop. Most of you say, okay, you're overweight, you're 12 kilo overweight, I'll help you to lose 12 kilo. I'll bring you there. What happens when they lost 12 kilo? Bye-bye, have a good life. Or you help people stop smoking. So they're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes. At the end of your, whatever it is that you do with them, they stop smoking, they don't smoke anymore. You say, bye-bye. Okay? And that's something really, really bad. It's bad. It's actually a lose-lose situation. It's a lose for you, and it's a lose for them. It's a lose for you because you have somebody that right now you deliver them value, so they know you, they like you, they trust you. You could have them as a client for life. But you don't have anything to offer them, so you say goodbye. So you just lost somebody, and you need to start from the beginning. Let's get another person that doesn't know me, doesn't like me, doesn't trust me, and start building everything again. That's what you're doing, right? How many of you are starting again every time with a new client? Okay? It's not a good way to do that. It's not that you shouldn't do that, but you shouldn't lose all those clients that already know you, like you, and trust you. Okay? But it's also lose for them, because you And this is where I was talking about, you know, don't be too content with what you're doing. I can't remember right now with who I worked with that. Okay? All of you, I'm willing to bet that all of you know that if this is where your client is when they start with you, this is the normality line, you know that there's this place somewhere here that they can get. They can get, which is a lot better than this, but you don't tell them. You know that if a person now just in their normal weight, they lost the 12 kilo that it was overweight, you know that they need more than that. You know that they need to develop better habits. You know that they need to develop better nutrition, better exercising system as a system, not as a just one-time thing or just for you know, because they need to get married. And you know that they need to teach their kids and to give their kids better habits. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? Not just about losing weight. That you know that there is more for your clients than you're actually delivering them. Because they come and ask you to help them with stop smoking. You don't talk to them about the other thing that they need to know. Maybe cleaning up their lungs from all the shit that they did already. Maybe it's about vitality. Maybe it's about, you know, developing better habits. Maybe it's about dealing with addiction so they don't fall into another addiction. You know that you could take them further, but you don't say it. It's a secret. Shh. Only if they ask me for that. And we don't do that, guys. We don't do that. People are not trained to do that. It's crazy. You're ripping them off from the possibility. Now, one day or another, they will find out that they could get more. But you know what now they have to do? They have to go to Google and find somebody that will take them from here to there. Because you never told them that you can take them there. Imagine that you would tell them from the beginning, hey, listen, this is what you want, I'll take you there. But just that you know, this is where you should go. And if you will want, I'll take you. If you don't, at least you're aware of that, so you find somebody that can help you. But you need to get there, because that's your full potential. That's what we're talking all the time about, full potential. And it doesn't have to be people. It can be companies. It can be organizations. It can be causes. So I'm telling you right now, it's the second day of the training, and on purpose we do it on the second day and not on the first day. There is a place for you to go here, and I want you to go there. This is our agenda. It's not a hidden agenda. We're telling you that from the beginning, and we're telling you now, we explain it a little bit more. I want all of you to become enlightened millionaires. I want all of you to become enlightened millionaire. And I don't care how the word millionaire pisses you off or how the word enlightened pisses you off, because we use those two words in order to piss off people. The people that are very generic, we wanted to piss them off by talking about millionaire, because a millionaire is much more about than the word rich or the word money. Millionaire is pushing people's button like crazy. And we want you to be aware that this is where we're expecting you to go. And for those people that are only about money, we want you to be aware that we're talking about the spiritual principles of that, and we want you to become enlightened on the way. So this is where you can get at the end. If you want to do it with us or not, that's your choice, but at least you know that. And in order to get that, there's something in between, in the middle, that you need to pass. You cannot get there without passing this. You cannot have a glass that is overflow before the glass is full. So the glass is full when you're financially free. Financial freedom happens here. And most of you, if you haven't been to our trainings, you never thought about it. That was never on your goal. You might have this goal of financial independence, which is a very Dutchy thing, but financial independence is the total opposite than financial freedom. Financial independence means I don't depend on my husband to make money, so I work my ass off for that, or the other way around. That's what financial independence usually in Holland is. Financial freedom means that you don't have to work ever again. If you work for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. Why? Why do you work? Because you're passionate about it, because you have something to contribute. Bill Gates goes to work every day at 7 o'clock in the morning. Every day. Every day. Why? He doesn't need more money. He goes to work because it's his passion and because he wants to change the world. You need to listen to what Bill and Melinda Gates are in interviews and everything. And Bill Gates is one of the worst introverts. And you need to see what happens to his eyes, to his voice, to his energy, to his posture when he talks about the causes that he is passionate about it. And I don't like all the causes that he's passionate about. They're doing some horrific things in my idea in certain countries, because they come from a good ideas, but they just kind of ignore that there's people there that that have their own beliefs and their own. I don't want to get into that. It doesn't matter. From their point of view, they are changing the world, and they did. They eliminated polio in India. Eliminated polio in India within 15 months. 15 months alone. The UN put it for themselves as a 50-year goal or something like that. They did it in 15 months alone with their foundation. No more polio in India. It's amazing. Guys, it's amazing when you think about it. So they do that. He goes to work every day because he wants to contribute and because he's passionate about it. You need to hear him talking about it. So first you need to become financially free so you can be in that position. And then if you want to take the next step, you're very, very welcome. That's what we're showing you that you can do. But I'm only here. I understand that all you want to do right now is to double your income, double your free time, and you'll be satisfied with that, and you will be content. I understand. But did you notice that I'm not very agreeable with that? When somebody is just content, I'm not very content, because content belongs to normality, belongs to very much how the Dutch people think. No one was born to be normal. Please, get it into your head. You were not born to be normal. Your clients were not born to be normal. Your kids were not born to be normal. And it's your job, if you're aware that there is more than normal, because they don't know. They know that what they suffer right now is because they're overweight. They don't realize that there is more for them to do. So yes, take them there, but make them aware there is more and there is more. If you want me, I will help you. If you don't want me, go get it somewhere else, but you need to know. We start now in next year to talk to people not just about the Enlightened Millionaire, but about everything about them. I'm teaching people how to live a lot longer. I'm going to live for 132. That's my goal. That's my plan. I'm working on that. Okay? So I'm researching now on myself and in the world, what can I do in order to become 132, not just in age, but also in health. I want to die healthy. You know, I want to go to sleep when I had enough and just say bye-bye, hug everybody, and then just not wake up. I don't want to have cancer or dementia like my family. Okay? I don't want to have that. So I'm setting it for myself so I will have enough years so I can make enough contribution. People ask me, why do you need to live so many? You know, 90 sounds like more than enough. I have so much to do. I'm so excited to be alive. You know, if I will get dementia, you know, my wife has the instruction to, you know, to put the morphine on a high level for that. But as long as my brain function, I don't care about my body, but as long as my brain function, I want to live for as long as possible so I can actually do something. I love what I'm doing. I love to contribute, and I want to continue that. And we want to teach people for that. And I will tell you, if you will continue with that, I will tell you that I'm expecting you to go there also in your health. And it's not fitting for young people, you know. A person 16 doesn't think about dementia at the age of 75. Actually, I'm 48, and nobody in my age is thinking about dementia, while dementia starts now. I don't know if you know that, but dementia starts around 50, 55. You know, that's when it starts. Now it's time to eliminate that, not when you're 75. My father is 75, he's now worried about dementia because his mother, his father, they all died with nothing, you know. There was no person inside anymore. And he's afraid of that now. He's 75 with cancer. It's a little late. So I'm showing you where there is. Most people, before they came to Open Series, never heard about Conscious Millionaire or Enlightened Millionaire because that term doesn't exist. Okay, there's no company in the world, no organization in the world that will teach you how to get there. There isn't. There will be lots of organizations that will teach you how to make more money. Okay? You can do that. There's lots of organizations that will teach you how to become more conscious, more enlightened. There's lots of them. But there's not one organization in the whole world that will actually take it as a path and show you step by step how you can get to, and prove you that it's possible. Okay? I'm not talking from theory. I'm going to show you. That's what we're doing. That's what we are. That's who we are. That's who our friends are, and we can show you how to do that. Now, if you don't want to do that with us, that's totally fine. But you need to know that that's the next steps. Does that make sense? Yes. Guys, are you with me? Yes. Wonderful. So I want to show you, I want to do with you the first step for that, so you can go home with the first step for that. So maybe before that, yeah, I think I should say one thing about how we're doing it, because I don't know if all of you know. It was pretty much in the news lately, or pretty much we're busy with that, but maybe you don't know. What we're doing, Verd and me started many, many years ago to contribute 10% of everything that we earn, everything. A personal company, everything contributed for good causes that we thought that are valuable and that they fit with our vision of changing the education system in the world. It was not a lot of money. We were small, we were poor, but whatever we could, we did. At one point, we became more successful, especially when the business bootcamp started. Then we started generating, serious money, which we don't really need all of it. So we decided to make this bigger and make a foundation. We have an Open Service Foundation, which is a non-profit organization, which Verd and me are sitting there, and we have 2 other board members that are sitting there. And basically, we're taking our money, and we take money from our community, or collect, or getting donations from our community, and we use it in order to change the education system in the world in certain projects that we're doing every year. Just now we finished, I think last month, a project that collected 130,000 euros in order to save 550 Nepali slave girls that called the Kamlari from slavery and abuse. They're being sold by their parents to owners, new owners, when they are 11, 12, 13 years old. And we partnered with a big organization that is called Room to Read, which is another enlightened millionaire that started it. And we partnered with them, and with our community, we collected over 130,000 euros that we could, you know, free those 550 girls and deliver them education. Thank you. Yeah, I'm appreciative, and thank you for the acknowledgement. What I'm trying to tell you is that we didn't start there. This is where we are now, and next year our goal is to be bigger than that and make a bigger difference. The part, by the way, is not so much about saving those girls, like taking them from their owners. That's very easy because it's illegal. All you need to do is to find them and to report it to the police, but then to give them an alternative, because if you don't give them the education, they go back to their parents, and the parents just go to the next one and sell them again. Okay? It's about $75 for a girl for a year. Okay, so they sell them for $75, and every year they need to sell them again because it's $75 a year. After a year, they go back to the parents, and the parents just send them again, save them again, sell them again. So if we just free them, there's nothing going to change. You know, they will just find another person. Okay, so we need to get them out of the houses. The parents are not bad people, by the way, guys. It's just that they make $1.50 to $2 a day for a family. They have 6 or 8 kids. You know, the girls are furniture in Nepal. They are not. Girls are not considered. They are not as human as others, so they are furniture. So that's the easy ways for the parents. It's not that they're bad people. They're just doing it for, and they're being promised all kind of stuff by those people. You know, they tell them, oh, we'll give them education, we'll take them to the big city, we'll give them, you know, they will see television and stuff like that, which they usually don't. So the point is not so much the freedom, but the education, and that's what Room to Read does. It creates a special education system for those girls that takes them for the parents, give them a profession, give them vocation, give them coaches, and then they don't have to go back to the villages. They can start a life, and that's breaking that cycle. Does that make sense? So we're doing that every year in a totally different project. We don't know yet what it will be the next year. Every time one project. We did a project with Richard Branson and Virgin a couple of years ago in South Africa, working with entrepreneurs, teaching entrepreneurs. That was a fantastic project. We did last year, we built 4 schools together with our community. We built up 4 schools in Laos, which is one of the poorest countries in the world. We just came back in March from Laos, seeing those schools, seeing how life has changed for hundreds of kids that never would have a chance to get education. And I don't know if you understand what it means. I mean, we've been to this village, and there were it was a village that there was no school in it. They were thinking of building a school, so they wanted to show us how they choose a village. And there was this village, and there were all those kids, and usually we are used to work with those poor kids, you know, how to get them to be involved and to get connected. So usually what you do is you use the camera, right? You take a picture and you show them, and then they immediately, you know, they get excited and everything. And those kids did nothing, so we're taking a picture of this kid, and we show the kid, and it's like totally blank, like there's nothing. And I didn't understand, so I'm going to another kid, I'm taking his picture, I'm showing him, it doesn't work. I'm taking a video, I'm showing nothing. There is no response whatsoever. Never saw that something like that in my life. And at one point, I took 2 kids' picture, and then I'm showing them, and they were totally excited because they recognized their friend. They have never saw their own picture. They never had a mirror. That's how little stimulation those kids have, how poor people can be, and we don't understand that. They were kids of 8, 10, 11 years. They never saw themselves because there was never a mirror. You understand? There is no stimulation whatsoever. They never saw a book, not to talk about that they don't read, but they never saw a book with pictures or magazines. They're living in the middle of nowhere. And there are people like that in the world. Now, this is not really our major direction when we're talking about changing the education system in the world, but that's what we can do right now. And that's what I'm inviting you to do in your own way, wherever you choose. You know, you don't have to go all the way here to do that. You can do that today with whatever you have. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?